The Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, is set to address the nation today. That communication was relayed to Kenya through Twitter handle of Dennis Itumbi. For those who remember, Dennis Itumbi used to work for President Uhuru Kenyatta. But Uhuru Kenyatta fired him, but was retained by the Deputy President. And this is what Itumbi posted. The DP William Ruto to address the nation today. Kenya, COVID-19, Kenya, COVID-19. So that gives you the hint on what the Deputy President is going to address Kenyans on. The COVID-19. And Kenyans are already asking several questions here. If you go through Dennis Itumbi's wall here, someone is asking about what? Who needs? Okay, kuna someone saying, and the whole world is happy. Someone is saying, hope he's had enough and will be resigning. Someone is saying, I hope zile pesa za church harambes for the past weekends and the coming ones will be shared to fight COVID-19. So basically, the mere fact that the Deputy President is going to address the nation and Kenyans are asking different questions raises a lot of questions. And one question which Kenyans have been asking, where has the Deputy President been? We all know that this COVID-19 has been with us for a very long time. And the President, together with his government, has been communicating to Kenyans on this particular matter. But one man has always been missing in action. The Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto. And Kenyans have been wondering where the Deputy President has been. And last week, the Deputy President surfaced with a picture of him tilling his cabbages in one of his farms. And Kenyans were mad at that. And the DP was forced to respond. So today, the Deputy President is going to address the nation. And even last week, for those who follow the politics keenly, last week, was it this week, I think, early this week, there was a hashtag on Twitter, the real DP hashtag, which was exposing the Deputy President. And Kenyans felt that is a guy who cannot be relied on during crisis, but can only surface during times of launching projects, in which case fake projects, and also when there's issues to explain to Kenyans government policies, which are basically lies. But the mere fact that the Deputy President is today going to address Kenyans, Kenyans are going to wait to see several things. Because already, during this crisis, already several leaders have emerged. Mutahi Kagwe, who is the Cabinet Secretary for Health, has emerged as a strong communicator. And Kenyans are always looking up to Mutahi Kagwe to communicate to them as far as the COVID-19 is concerned. Kenyans would have expected that because the president is not making a public appearance in most times, then the guy who should be there is the Deputy President. And if the Deputy President is not there, then the Cabinet Secretary should be there. And Mutahi Kagwe has actually stepped into those shoes perfectly well. The other guy who has also emerged, and this is why I think the DP is now concerned, is Hassan Joho in Mombasa. Hassan Joho, being the governor of Mombasa, has actually melted the hearts of Kenyans through his actions, practical actions in Mombasa. The way he's been addressing the people of Mombasa on this particular COVID, the measures he's taking, how he's planning to intervene should a lockdown, which has already been effected, happen. So Hassan Joho has also used this occasion to emerge. And I think this is what is worrying the Deputy President. The other person who has emerged and is also worrying the Deputy President and Team Tangatanga is Charity Ngilu. When this issue of COVID came up and there were shortages of face mask all over the country and globally, Charity Ngilu stepped in through her textile industry in Kitui. And that's even received accolades from outside the country. So Charity Ngilu also emerged. And yesterday, Alfred Mutua also emerged by announcing that he was going to pay the health workers an extra 20,000 per month and 10,000, specifically those who are dealing with this particular COVID-19 crisis. And yesterday, another guy called Semelang also announced his contribution of 25 million Kenyan shillings, and this is going to pay rents to people who are staying in the slums in Nairobi and whose rents are less than 5,000 Kenyan shillings. So I think these actions and the moves by these people caught the deputy president and his allies off guard. And that's why he had to respond. Because if you follow the conversations around the people around the deputy president, Silvanus Osoro, Jicho Pevu, Kipchumba Murkomen, Moses Kuria, they've basically been trying to oppose all these moves by the deputy president William Samoei Ruto. I mean, by the government. And 2 days ago, President Uhuru Kenyatta, after addressing the nation, because the president also addressed the nation, and then the next day the president went to vernacular stations in Oro, Shoro, and Kameme FM, and he addressed the Kikuyu nation there. Fred Matiang'i also went to Egesa FM and addressed the Kisses in vernacular. But coincidentally, after all those, Moses Kuria, who is a key player around the deputy president William Samoei Ruto, went to Mulembe FM, which is a Luya station, and addressed the Luya nation through national language. I don't know the message he was trying to portray or to send to Kenyans. But today's address to the nation by the deputy president will be watched very keenly. And Kenyans will be waiting to see whether the DP has been isolated or he will still get the support from the government. And this will be manifested by the people who are going to accompany the deputy president William Samoei Ruto in his press conference. Will Mutahi Kagwe, as the Minister for Health, accompany the deputy president while he's giving this speech? And where will he deliver the speech from? Will it be delivered from his office at Arambe House, because that's the center of power, or will it be delivered in his residence? Because the residence is actually not the official residence it's not actually the official office of the deputy president. But there are certain things which Kenyans really wanted to hear from the deputy president, and they'll be keenly monitoring. Number one is the role of the DP in all this. If the DP will be addressing the nation, will he address the nation as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya? Or will he address the nation in his capacity as William Samoei Ruto? Those are some of the issues which are there. Because remember, when people started questioning where the DP was, the response was that when the DP is talking, people complain. When he's silent, people complain. So the mere fact that he's been sidelined and isolated could have really caused his silence. But let us wait and see to see whether he's going to speak as the DP, as the deputy president, or as the DP, as William Samoei Ruto. That one will only be confirmed by the people who are going to accompany him. Number two is this notion that the DP cannot be found during times of crisis, but is easily available when there's no crisis. Remember, when did this crisis begin? Several weeks ago. And when the president declared lockdown of Mombasa, Kilifi, Kwale, and Nairobi, in his speech, the president stated clearly that the National Security Council made that choice. We all know that the National Security Council of this country is headed by the president, the deputy president, then the cabinets, different cabinet secretaries, head of securities, and that's the top security organ in this country. But the mere fact that the DP was not there raised a lot of questions. And the other thing which Kenyans will be waiting to see, and I've seen most Kenyans asking about this, is how the DP is going to contribute to this materially. Because people are saying that the DP is always fond of raising money, donating millions and millions of money in churches, Arambes, and the rest. And for the past few weeks, there has been no charges. So a lot of money has been saved from his side. And therefore, they expect some of those monies to be used during this crisis. So will the DP announce a fund to help people with this crisis? Or will the DP decide to identify Kenyans who are poor and clear all their bills? But I think the mere fact that the deputy president has now come out publicly, or is going to come out publicly to address the COVID issue, I think in my view is a good move. Unless he's just reacting to the fact that there are leaders who are already emerging out of this, and maybe because Kenyans were questioning where he has been all along. I'll be monitoring what the DP is going to say in this particular address to the nation. And after that address, I'm actually going to dissect for you guys his speech one by one. I think that's the cardinal thing we are going to do. And personally, I think it's high time for Kenyans, everybody included, to rally fellow Kenyans around this COVID-19 thing. This thing, we shouldn't politicize it. We must listen to the government. What are they telling us? If it's a matter of telling us to wash our hands, let us just do that. If it's a matter of social distancing, let us do that. If it's about banning churches, let's do that. I've seen the allies of the DP are totally against banning of churches. The other parts of the world where this pandemic escalated was as a result of the church. Churches refused to listen to the government. So I think we must listen to what the government is telling us, specifically during this trying period. Once we overcome it, then we can now go back to our political cocoons and start saying politics the way we want. But the mere fact that the DP will be addressing the nation today, in my view, is a good move from him, timely, and let's just wait for the message he's going to deliver to Kenyans. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to take a minute or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, you get notified. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is today. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. A request. I want you guys to help me subscribe. I want you guys to help this channel reach 80,000. We are at 67,000 already. So just help me share, recommend to people. If you have not subscribed, just click subscribe. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.